I don't know who else going to be here, but welcome to Millichun TV. And I am here joined today with the official pot stirrer, Ebony. So we are about to launch a podcast. And I asked Ebony to be my host because she has an opinion like me. And I just love our camaraderie. So today we're doing like a little tease for everyone just to see how this is going to go. We have three things that we really want to talk about. But before we get started, Ebony, let everybody know where you can be found, reached, followed, and all of that good stuff.
Well, you can follow me on the Fly Aunt Cooks. TikTok is my home base.
Hmm.
And then on Instagram, the Fly Aunt Cooks as well. And I'm just so happy to be here and to be a part of this great journey we are
I
embarking on.
know. It's so much fun. And I mean, people had asked about it and all that. So I was like, let me do this and then we can get this going and we can go forward. So not going to
Absolutely.
waste a lot of time. We're going to be here for a little while. So the first topic we're going to talk about is is it Love and Marriage Huntsville?
Let's
Is that
get
what you want
straight
to talk
into
about?
it.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
So I made a post today about Martell talking to Sheree, right? And it was the word he used particularly. You
And
know, he
things
was
of
like,
that
it's,
nature.
and he didn't say that one this time, thank God. But he did say, like particularly, it's not male, and I built this family with her and all this kind of stuff. But I was like, how can Sheree not hear that he is still very much in love with Mel? Like, how can she not hear that?
When I saw the clip, Sheree, the subtleties in her face, it gave me she didn't believe it, right?
Hmm.
But then it also gave me she's she's ignoring what she sees and believing some of what she hears. And that leads me to her having a pattern with ignoring red flags because
Okay.
clearly he said a bunch, but really didn't it didn't land for me.
It
What
didn't land
what
for me
Martell was
either.
trying to explain didn't land for me. It didn't convince me of
Mm-mm.
anything. If
Mm-mm.
anything, it made me more so believe the opposite of what it was the message he was trying to convey. In all honesty,
Absolutely.
um, I don't know what Sheree and Martell are really trying to do together in this whole thing, and we'll let our peoples in the tribes give their thoughts and opinions on that.
Right, right.
But I will say that baseline woman to woman, I hope Sheree is being calculated and smart in protecting her heart.
And my whole thing is, she doesn't even have to be, because she doesn't, it doesn't sound smart. If she's just having a good time, if it's just a bounce house situation, a headboard session, I'm good with it. You know what I'm saying? Let's do that. But let us not lose sight of who this is. And I also was talking about, I made a post, and I don't want to be hypocritical because I don't think I am. But like, he is, this situation with him and Ariane and this girl and this tape, like, this is crazy.
I wish Sheree would actually just come out and say, "Hey," I know she says we're dating and this and that, and stuff,
Yeah,
but I really wish she would just come out and say, "Hey, me and Martell, we're two adults. We're having a good
we're
time.
just having
We are
fun.
friends with benefits or something." Because when a man says that it's not any issue, nobody takes issue with that. I think if she comes out and says that, then maybe people will so called leave her alone. But that whole tape situation,
That's crazy. That's crazy. And I just, and it came out of nowhere. And I was like, who is this girl? But they say that
well,
she's
tell
the
the
girl.
people, for people that may not, as yet follow us, give them a little bit a background on this tape, and also where they can view your clip too about it.
The tape, I saw it on Chit Chat with QT on YouTube, and it's a tape of a girl. She came to the etiquette luncheon with Tisha,
Yes.
and apparently she's supposed to be Tisha's hairstylist. So she
Oh, that's who she is.
see
Okay.
she said that Ariane was following her, right? And I guess in the midst of her following, she had talked about moving to Huntsville. So Big Ari is like her go-to person. You know, like, where do I need to stay? What's the best place to do when I get there? Where can I take my kids to school? Blah, blah, blah. That type of stuff. So she was, and I got a thing today. I had downloaded, well, I'm gonna talk about it later on today, but she was saying how she was really good with Ariane and everything, but when she said about Martell wanting her to make that tape, she said this was a text, and she said, listen, I'm going to let you know right now, don't play with me. Because you played the role that you were young and dumb and Martell took advantage of you. I felt bad. But then once you contacted me talking about Martell wants you to post a video from a fake page of Melody doing a certain thing to a man, and for you to act like the man that's posting it, she said it blew her mind and she never wanted to talk to Ariane again. You also said that Melody is actually doing this act like it wasn't her husband. And her thing was, if Mel sees this, Mel is gonna be like, that's Martell, that's me and my husband, right? So it was like the girl said she was really done when Ariane seemed like she wanted to do the tape because Martell was mad at her. Like, girl, are you crazy? Because then Mel could turn around and use it as, revenge. You know what I'm saying? And then where you gonna be left? Because you staying in Section 8, so where you gonna be left? How you gonna
This
pay
is
that?
my concern for not only Mel and the children, but my question is with Arion. If he would do that to a woman that he built a life with, what will he do to you?
What has he done to you? You have been skipped over 2 times. What is he going to do for you?
He
The
can't
live
right now because he's no longer a benefactor in the labor that Melody has put forth. But my thing is, why would you want to humiliate, bring down another woman to that degree? Like,
to
you
that
can throw your
degree.
shade on social media back and forth, which he's
Yeah.
already done. Why would it be so important to herself and to Martell because to want to reduce Melody in such a way?
Right. And then, like, how could you, like, if somebody approaches you with something like that, like, you can't think that they have your best benefit, because if you do something, then that's going to be somebody doing something for you. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why I say that thought doesn't cross her mind. Like, okay, if he would want to do this to Melody,
Mm-mm,
they got 4
mm-mm.
kids together.
They
I
got 4
got
kids
one,
together.
and I done been to the chop shop a couple times. What would he do to me?
Not the chop, girl. But that's the thing. Like, what are you waiting for? Are you waiting until he chooses you? Is that what you're waiting for? Because he's not going to choose
This is a
you.
piece of advice, and this is some parting advice for Big Ari.
Uh-oh.
Big Ari, while you currently have the fans' attention and the inquiries that we're making right now, I recommend that you focus on your business and boosting your sales out your boutique, because
Or AliExpress, allegedly.
get your money up, honey, not your funny up.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
You gotta pivot. One
Yeah.
thing Miss Mel is good at is pivoting. She'll turn some bad news into business moves. Okay? So
And
let's
then
focus on our business, Big Ari, and not focusing on things that could potentially have us ending up in court.
And lastly, the post I made today on my platforms was about, I think there was a blogger who posted a petition to get Mel removed from the show because they said that there have been petitions for other people on the show to be removed and not Mel, and that her fans are harassing other people. But my thing is, are we that invested? And I had to ask myself that question. Being a viewer, everybody has the people that they like or whatever. But I was like, are we that invested that we posted petitions to pull people from their jobs? I mean, because this was my other question. And this is a real question. Not shade, not funny. What would really happen to this show? And at the end of it, Carlos said Mel wasn't going anywhere. But what would really happen to this show if Mel left? Like for real. And if you like Tisha and Marceau, what is Tisha and Marceau really giving? We are glad that Kimmy is well, but what is Kimmy and Maurice really giving? I think Kimmy is the best reality TV star in reality TV. That's just how I think. But Martell, no. So like, what are they giving? Like, what would their storylines be? Could we see something productive from Tisha? What does Kimmy really do? And
this is my thing. And I think you can attest to this too, because we talk about these kinds of topics and then we talk about these shows.
mm-hmm.
We're invested, but we're not extremists.
Yeah.
And some fans can come across as extremists. However, I don't feel as though that's the purpose of an ensemble cast.
Mm-hmm.
You have cast members that have that star quality, and you have those cast members that follow along and play a wonderful partner in the reality scheme of things.
Okay.
Not all cast members have that star quality where you want to follow along and see just what they're doing.
I agree.
In this ensemble cast, Melody has the capability where you would want to follow along with just what she's doing.
I agree.
Tisha, on the other hand, for me personally, and I'm not going to speak for everybody, she does not have that quality where I would want to follow along with just what she's doing. However, if Tisha and her family from Bessemer did a show, I would most assuredly be tuned in for that. Okay?
I feel like Wanda and that uncle needs something on Zeus because I think they are hilarious.
Right. If it's an extension of that, definitely. And Tisha's a beautiful, educated, smart woman, but she does not carry that je ne sais quoi that you need to stand alone, that, I want to see what Tisha's up to. And also, Tisha has not, in my opinion, consistently provided us with a project that she's staying on. From season to season, it kind of wavers and changes.
Exactly.
Kimmy is awesome, and we know Kimmy's a nurse, and from social media we know she does catering and stuff like that, her brokerage and real estate. Right. However, we haven't had the opportunity for the cameras to really follow her in that mindset. And if they did that, then maybe we can see where else Kimmy can take it. Maurice, he's kind of like, him and Kimmy bounce off of each other. I really do not give much from Maurice. Maybe we'll get a Martin Luther King nugget here and there, but nothing beyond that. Martell is going to give us well-dressed, unhinged.
Yeah.
And Marceau is always going to Marceau.
Yeah. Well, okay, we could talk all day about that. So the next thing we're going to go into is another installation from the Kingdom Reign is Bell Collective. That's coming up here tomorrow, right?
Yes, we love Bell. I love Bell Collective. I'm invested. I'm not an extreme, though.
The trailer is out, and it's a lot to unpack, right? So I'm just going to go to it. Let's go to Latrice and Josh. Latrice with Josh in her house. and Latrice and Josh having an emotional moment where it seems like they're breaking up because she's not leaving her husband blows my mind. Like, and then he talks about it to Akeisha because he's just been done wrong. Like, sir, I let you live in my house. Just sit down. Just go to your room and be quiet.
This is the part where there's a long-standing history when you become too close with your coworkers. In this
Right.
case, subordinate,
Right.
right? She's opened her home to him.
Yep.
I'm sure they are friends and she has shared things with him. And I'm also sure that because of living in a home, he's been a party or witness to things that he doesn't necessarily give agreements to. And
Right.
also, we saw in the clip, some of the season clips that they did release, that he definitely has, given his opinion on Treese and her marriage.
Uh-oh. You froze. She froze. We're gonna carry on. There you go. You froze.
Oh, okay. No. Okay, so he has to remember that that's her husband and he's always going to take precedent over anything. And
Right.
yes, that's another thing about venting to family and friends, because they're going to oftentimes hold that grudge on behalf of you
Right.
too.
And then you come back
So,
and you all rainbows and sunshine, and then they mad because you going through this situation. So that's true. What else was on there? Letitia.
Glendale,
Yeah, Letitia and Glendale. Glendale in the studio. What are we thinking about Glendale becoming a rapper at 49,000 years old? You are freezing.
I
Well,
want to be the rapper.
oh my God. I cannot. Like, I cannot.
I see it though.
Yeah.
I see Glendale wanting to be a rapper. It's
You keep freezing. I can't at this big age see him becoming a rapper. I cannot see that. At this point, it is
Let me see if that'll help. I don't know.
you keep
Switch
freezing.
to my 5G.
Okay. But I think that I think for me, as far as TV goes, they don't keep it consistent. Like they'll break up, they'll do this, they won't be together, and then next week we'll see them post and they're together and the show hasn't even come out. So it's crazy to me. I can't watch it, just effortlessly. I can't watch it. Just streamlined. Does that make sense?
So basically, we would prefer to keep some of that, like,
No, if you show me a trailer and you all are picking the baby up at the jump house and you're not together, then don't post next week y'all together and hugged up because and the show hasn't come on yet.
Right.
So
I agree.
what's really going on?
I agree. Keep us in suspense a little bit.
Yeah.
Keep us
I
in
agree.
suspense a little bit. I agree.
But I'm excited about the season. So Gucci and
I did
Selena.
not see So Gucci and Latrice going at it.
So Gucci and Selena. The people are happy about Selena.
So Gucci, I believe she was a fan favorite. She was a favorite for me.
I think so.
She's up next. That's all I can.
She is up next. And I think this Selena situation with her, this is going to be something else. Because Selena hasn't been on television in a decade plus and a score. She is an avid TikTok dancer. So I don't know.
From the comments, people are here for Selena.
People are here for Selena.
People like it. People are definitely here.
They are definitely here for
Selena. The trailer shows that her and Selena isn't timid. From the Bring It On days, she came across like she didn't want to step on any toes or anything like that. But from this trailer,
But you
like,
gotta but let's break that down though. Bring It was a kid show, right? Bring It is a
oh,
kid show. And
yes,
the stars of the show are the actual girls. The parents are the co-host or
okay,
the supporting actors in the show. I'll
right,
say that.
that's true.
Um, but Selena's part in the show was literally standing outside looking through a window.
That's right.
So
That is
Selena's
true.
never really had a TV show where she could be, you know, with lines or, things in her, talk about they've never gone on a trip or anything. And this is JJ's ex-wife. So now fast forward to JJ's wife having a show, and oh, that'll be too much if I say it. Okay. JJ's wife having a show and she ending up on the show. I can't say how she's going to end up. The scene that everybody saw was the second time Selena was on the show. It was her second scene. There is a first
Okay.
scene also that Selena is in where it kind of where everything kind of started up. So what we saw in the clip is actually carried over from the first time Selena came on the scene.
Okay.
So we just got to
Okay.
see.
That's some good background. See y'all getting a little bit of exclusive tea here.
Yeah, so we just got to see how they're going to play this. Okay?
Now, I like to get into like a little nugget of what I saw because I like
Mhm.
the small details.
Mhm.
So when Sanjay was talking to So Gucci, and
Mhm.
she was like, "Well, why did you even walk up on her or something like that?"
Mhm.
This is gonna have a tremendous fallout with their kids, right?
Yeah, cuz when we left off, they were in counseling, they were doing well and all of that. But go ahead.
Right. So a tremendous fallout. The relationship with the kids already seemed to kind of be in a fragile state based on the reunion and how
Mhm.
huge the colorism conversation was during the
Mhm.
season.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking this season that we're really going to start to see some cracks in those relationships because
Yeah.
I'm speculating. I don't think all was well prior to them getting into it with Selena.
Yeah.
And I can see that lines are definitely going to be drawn just based on that little nugget because Sanjay seems to be coming across that she's already in defense. Whatever Selena told her,
Yeah.
that's gold and that's
I
just
mean
what
that
it is.
I mean that's her mom too, so you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um I don't know because oh, Jesus, it was just really crazy to me because it was like Gucci said, "I'm not talking to an extra," and Selena was like, "I'll show you extra," and then Gucci kind of walked up. So that's what she's talking. Maybe that's what she's talking about, but I
It
can't
could be
wait.
more.
It could be more. It could be more. Could we see Selena on the show? Is Selena good TV? Like we don't. Is Selena good TV? Do people just like her because they liked her from Bring It?
Yes,
What is
Selena
her?
has a fan base. Selena has a
Okay.
pull because I enjoyed Selena on Bring It as well. Just like when we found out JJ was going to be on the show.
Hmm.
People love JJ.
Hmm.
A lot of
They do.
people watched Bring It. So they definitely have the pull. But we
Yeah,
also know that Carlos King doesn't like any physical altercations
we do
either.
know that. We
So
do
we
know
have
that
to wait and see how if
all this is
anything
going to play
came
out.
out of that and if so, just speaking out, further down the line, the long game, it would be good for So Gucci to have a little bit of adversary amongst whatever. They're already a family. We know how we like to have natural, organic relationships
Right.
on
Right.
reality TV.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So it would be a good thing, even though the kids are mature and of age. Blending families, this shows blending families is
Yep.
still not easy.
That's right. I agree. So I'm really excited about this new season and to see what it's going to bring. And
One little thing,
okay.
Marie.
Oh, yeah. I love Marie. I love
Marie's
Marie.
not giving me much in the trailer.
Well, I yeah.
It
I
can't
mean,
be the I hate Latrice train. I'm tired of seeing that. I don't want to hear nothing else about it. Okay?
I mean
She a
when
snake, she a cobra. You don't know what you're gonna get.
well, yeah, she said that. But maybe the big part would be us seeing if she's dating. I would love to see Marie dating. I would love to see her going on dates. I would love to see her businesses open. I would love to go to a grand opening. I would like these are just things I would want to see. Like you said, we don't want to see another Latrice and going back at it. Like we've seen that a lot in one season. So, okay, we already know what's there and what's not there, right? So maybe Bell Collective will make us happy all together. So let's go to our last little bit. Our last little thing we're going to talk about is Gabrielle Union and 50-50. Where do you sit with that?
So I actually watched the whole interview.
Okay.
And I'm gonna preface this with it was a really good interview.
Uh-huh.
Gabrielle was extremely vulnerable in this interview. I didn't write down the person's name that did the interview in the YouTube, but definitely people should check it out and they should watch it.
So what stood out to you?
What stood out to me in the interview was her vulnerability. She discussed how she got into the business and how she stayed the course in the business. And sometimes when I hear people's stories, people sometimes carry a kind of divine energy with them. Like
Okay.
how stuff happened for her. She was, in a prom dress shop. They asked her would she like to be in a commercial. Yes. Boom. Then it wasn't like she found an agent or anything like that. She studied, she just went after commercial. Her networking capabilities started to open. Got on through Aaron Spelling. He paid her. She has a degree in sociology from
Hmm.
UCLA.
But
But there were so many great moments, but the clickbait was the 50-50. Okay.
but here's where the 50-50 had come from. I had also read where, when she was in her last marriage, she cheated on her husband. And the reason she said she cheated on her husband is because she said she was paying all the bills. So fast forward to now, maybe this is why she's like 50-50. Maybe, and I don't know, maybe she could feel like if he's halfway in and I'm halfway in, we both have something to lose. But allegedly, she is worth 40 million. Allegedly, he is worth 700 something million. I'm sorry, I'm not going 50-50 with you if you are worth $700 million. I'm not. I don't care. I'm not. I'm just not going to do that. Now, I will pay for this cable and I'll pay for my cell phone bill. But other than that, and I mean my girls trips, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, we going to Anguilla. I'll pay for that. But you think I'm about to go half on this mortgage and you got 700 plus $1 million? Absolutely not, sir. I'm not gonna
In
be
the
able to
deep,
do it.
in the deep, in the deep scan of things, maybe for her that is a step up. She was paying all the bills in this situation, and now in this situation, she only has to go half. That's wonderful. Me personally, for myself, I do not go half on anything. Your job is to provide and protect me from swiping my own debit card, protect me from not having to use my credit card, and you provide security for me when we go out and when we do things.
But let's say
That is
this
just the
too.
way that I prefer things. Don't shoot the messenger, but we're not going 50-50. Can I save my money for the next generation? That's what I do. I'm a saver.
But we have to make the distinction between marriage and go together.
Absolutely.
We got to make that.
Absolutely. This is a married couple. This is
It's a
not,
married couple. It's
they're
a
not
married couple,
shacking up.
and I think it's different. I think, even if you're shacking up, that can be a little dangerous too because you can't. Sometimes you can't get them out of there. But at the same time, I know that you could leave and I know that I could leave. So I'm not, I already know, I know what my expenses are. I know that if this doesn't happen anymore at a drop of a dime, I know what I have to do. Make sure you're in a situation where you can pick it up and keep it moving.
Right. But I
But
also want to add,
if I'm married,
right.
no.
But I also want to add this. When I watched the interview, when the way she said it, she said, "Well, I can't say who leads my household because we go half and half."
She said she was the head of the household. She said, I'm the head of the household now. That's what she said.
And then she said, "There's other households, that she's responsible for."
I know. What was that
And
about?
yeah, she said, I'm assuming maybe like, parents or something like that. And she used to come from, this is why I said the interview was very vulnerable, when she said she had like a scarcity mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Like if a movie wasn't released on time, she was like, what
Mm-hmm.
am I going to do? Where's the money going to come from?
Right.
This and that. And they would just tell her to be easy. So not only does she have her own, her own castle that she has to contribute to and worry about, but she has a lot of other people that are leaning on her to take care of, whatever contribution that she feels obligated that she has to make for them. So
Yeah,
that's
because
another thing as well.
she did say something about just got to make sure everybody eats, and I
Right.
really was like, okay, Gabrielle, my bank account is so different than yours. So I get that part. You know what I'm saying? But if I got 40 million, I mean, maybe there's something I need to scale down in my life. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because, they do get to this point where they live this superstar lifestyle and they living like superstars and it's beyond their means and all that. Um, and I feel like if you have $40 million and you are worried if in the next 10 years, y'all not going to be able to eat, I think you should scale back.
That's her scarcity mindset. She says that she tries not to let the anxiety kick in, and for her to get caught up in that.
Well, I don't know. That was
Yeah.
a lot. It was a
It,
lot for
it,
me.
it was very deep. And
The 50-50 really, I mean, because I grew up in a home where my dad took care of everything, and my father has passed on. But
as did I.
even in his passing, he still took care of my mother, my sister, my brother, and me. Like, I mean, he was a man. You know what I'm saying? So, like, my blueprint for a man is very different from what somebody else's blueprint is.
Right.
Because if my father can continue to take care of my mother and my sister and brother and me, and he's not even on the planet, then if you out here working every day, you got some stuff you got to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Me and my home growing up, my mother's money was for grocery shopping and vacation. And my dad took care of everything. So that's where
Yeah,
and again, it just depends on how you were raised. Like
yeah,
that's how I was raised. The man took care of everything.
yeah.
And my mom's money was I literally heard it out my dad's mouth one day. He's like, "Your money is for grocery shopping and vacation. I do it, I do everything." And I remember as a little girl, I was like, okay, but now that I'm adult, I'm like, okay, daddy, because some of
But
these guys, they're not
but
trying to hear that.
I think this generation is like it's like we're getting older. Our generation, how we were brought up, if we were in a two-parent household or a one-parent household, you know, we saw our mother work hard, we saw our dads provide or whatever. I feel like it's just totally different. It's totally different. The concept of marriage is different now. Because there's so much caught in there that like polyamory is the new marriage now. You know what I'm saying? So it's different than when we grew up. So of course we see things differently. And so if you meet these guys, sometimes they are younger than you. You meet these guys and you're like, well, I'm gonna tell you a great example. Fallon and Jalen on Couples Retreat on MTV. Jalen is 23 years old.
I couldn't believe that when I heard
He
them say that.
he is he is taking care of Fallon, her 3 boys, his daughter with Fallon, and her 2 sisters.
How old is
And
Fallon?
she's 9 years older than him, so she's like 32. So, and then, AJ had said that maybe they should break up. And I know Fallon was devastated because she's probably like, how am I going to do this? Like, if the man wants to be alone, let him be alone. If he
That's
is taking
ignoring those
care of
red flags.
if he's taking care of 7 people at 23 years old, girl, I would have walked away from 7 people. I'm sorry.
So
I'm
how
saying
old was he when she started messing with him?
I don't know. Because he's 23 now. How long have Portia and Simon been together? A year? That's 2 years. So that's 21. So she said the narrative was that she said the truth was that Simon was engaged to Portia, but he wanted to flip it like she was cheating with Jalen. So if he's 23 now, that was 2 years ago, he was 21. So I'm just going to say 20.
What was Fallon thinking?
What was she thinking about? And then he was the help.
What was she thinking?
I don't know. But and then like you can't, and then Fallon, like sometimes we jump from one thing to another and we don't take time out to just really sit back and assess the situation. And this is exactly what she did, because she left from Simon and went right to Jalen. And it was all fun and games till the other baby came. And then the sisters moved in. Now he's 23 with a whole household and he does not know what to do with himself.
Let me say
That's
this.
insane.
Let me say this. This is my little parting message for Fallon and just us in general. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody you sleep with, you don't have to have a baby with. You
Say
know that.
it. Yeah.
You know, it's okay to have fun on a pogo stick, but cover it. Put some covering
On the pogo stick.
Put some covering on the pogo stick. Because you don't have to have children with everybody you're entangled with, like they make you feel good. You don't
Yeah.
have to have a baby
Yeah.
with them.
And I'm not saying that she meant to do that, but she is so unhappy.
She did not protect herself. She
No.
is lame. She assumed a position, friend.
And it was just too much.
Physically and literally.
23 years old, at 23, like with this generation, you are outside. This is the definition of being outside.
My daughter will be 23 this year.
Exactly.
I could never imagine looking at her
married.
You taking care of how many people?
Married with 4
kids. I was
kids.
just grateful that she didn't have any children. She doesn't have any children. She just completed her BSN.
Yeah, she doesn't need any children. Like it's time for her to be outside.
Right. And I tell all kids that, listen, and don't get me wrong when I say this, I'm a mom of 3. Being a mother is the most underrated, underappreciated job there is.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
And it doesn't pay anything.
At all. It doesn't pay. Yes, you get to, when she walked across that stage, I was
yeah. But that's what you get.
How did we get how hard she did it, but how hard was it to
get her there?
Get them there.
Yeah, it's difficult. And
as a 23-year-old, do you have the wherewithal to not only try to get your children there, other children's there, a ex-husband, 2 sisters, and keep your significant other happy? And all she was talking about was marriage.
Yeah, and Jalen is like, let's just work on us. Like I don't know how we got on this, but Jalen was like, you need to work on you. And it took her talking to Jock to realize that she needs to work on herself. Like they need to be apart.
Absolutely.
This is not a situation where they need to be apart, period.
Absolutely.
But we said all this to say, it's 50-50 is not, I don't think 50-50 should live in a marriage. I can see you if you're dating, if you've moved in with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, I can see you going 50-50. But also be able to protect yourself if that's no longer your situation. But if you
Right.
got a
And
husband,
today it may be, maybe husband get hurt and I got to pay the mortgage. I can do that because I saved my money. You know what
right,
I mean?
right.
So we're not saying that all the life he's supposed to whatever, but your preference, people have their preferences, and what in your relationship is what you make of it and what you determine to do so. But as for me and mine, that's not something that I subscribe to.
Mm-mm,
And if he
mm-mm.
ever needs something, he comes to me, and we gonna always work that out. But the foundation that upholds what I'm on, you got it, big daddy.
I know, it's crazy. And I don't think people really realize, like, like you have these girls who hang in here with these guys or whatever, and they leave them for someone else and all that. And, like sometimes Black women don't get a chance to be a Gabrielle Union, be taken care of, be in a situation like that. But I don't know, that 50-50 got me though. It just got me. I don't know.
Being
It did something to my
50-50 doesn't
spirit.
really allow you to operate in your feminine energy.
No, and that's another thing. Like women are not, I think women in those relationships are not allowed. Sometimes we just want to be women. We want to be soft and pink, and we just, we can cook, we can take care of all that kind of stuff and just not worry. When we got to worry about how to keep these lights on, then that's when I'm activated. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I know how to stay in my place. I know, like call me old fashioned or whatever, but I don't have no problem with it. I ain't got no problem with cooking, cleaning, and washing clothes and
Me
all that kind of
either.
stuff. I can stay in my
Yeah, me
place.
either.
But the moment you talk, we got to figure out how to pay this light bill, and I got to jump into your space. Don't say anything to me when I get to ranting and raving around here, because I'm gonna have something to say every day.
And I
Point
think
blank.
that's the
Period.
key element people fail to understand is that you're not able to fully engulf yourself in your
Mm-mm,
feminine energy when
mm-mm.
you're taking on, certain roles and
Yeah.
aspects that you feel like your masculine partner should be,
Right.
taking care of.
I agree
So
100%.
that's something that you have to just keep in mind. Like, if I gotta go out here and get it,
I
I'm gonna
got,
be like this. But if you
but
going out here and take it, I'm just gonna be delicate and
yeah, I
dainty
can do
and
that. I can do that. I don't have a problem with that. That's
all that
great for
good stuff.
me. But that was our three little topics and a little bit more. We are working on a podcast that will be out next month. So I hope y'all enjoyed this. We got to work on some more topics.
Tell us what
But
you want to hear us talk about.
I
Give us
know,
some
just let us
topics what you
know.
would like us to dish on as well.
But I think that I'm gonna go back to this real quick. Um, the Love and Marriage Huntsville stuff. I think people need to just really chill out a little bit. I mean, because I had to check myself. I was like, am I here talking like this my girl and da da da? Because we don't know these people. We do not know them. Like they don't know us. And we have a big opinion about their life every week. So I don't know. I don't know if we're doing too much, if we're too caught up in it. I don't know. But I think that's a bit much to want her off the show, because I just can't see a show without Melody Holt. So I'm
The
sorry.
lady has 4 children to support. Let's
For
be
children.
kind. Let's be
Yeah.
kind.
So y'all, that's that on that. It's your girl Millichun.
It's your girl Ebony, the official pot stirrer, and this was a blast. Looking forward
I
to the next
know.
one.
And we'll be back. We'll be back periodically. We'll be back. So y'all have a good day. Talk to you later. Bye.
Have a great day. Bye, guys.
Hold on, Ebony. Don't leave yet.
Okay.